Hey, I'm Skibo Holman. I'm a physical therapist and I work in conjunction with the truck driving industry and several other industries to try to look at things that cause injury, workforce injuries, and try to prevent those things. It's the repetitive things, the small things that cause injuries, and it's also the small things that prevent injuries, and that's what I want to talk about today. We're going to go over some stretches, and I want to do it in the cab of this truck because that's where you spend most of your time. First stretch I want to go over is your lower wrist stretch. Your lower wrist stretch is going to start right here on your steering wheel. Fully extend your elbow. You want to make sure that elbow is extended. Place your fingers, the tips of your fingers, on the steering wheel and just push the palm of your hand towards your speedometer. You want to hold all of these stretches for at least 45 seconds. The longer you can hold them, the better. Now I'll tell you, that stretch I feel in my wrist, but I'm going to tell you where I feel it the most is right there. That's a great wrist stretch, but it's also a good bicep stretch. Second stretch I want to go over is one of the most important stretches I have. And all you do is flip your hand over and fully extend that elbow. Now this is an excellent wrist stretch, and you want to hold this for at least 45 seconds, but I'll tell you, I like to have my patients hold this for at least 3 minutes. One of the things I see a lot when I sit at red lights is I look at people sitting around and they're in this posture. And I realize everything we do is in this posture. We drive in this posture. We eat in this posture. So one of the first things I have people do with chronic cervical pain or neck pain is try to get them into a more upright posture. And that's really difficult. One of the first stretches I want to show you is a neck stretch. But the first thing you do is take your opposing arm, the arm away from where you're going to stretch, and grab your seat. Grab that seat, lock that arm in place. Look over and try to stretch. Try to look behind you. Stretches all of this. Same thing for the other side. Just a different hand. Look across the other shoulder. Second stretch I want to show you is the upper arm and shoulder. Easy stretch. You just want to put your hand behind your back. Reach as far across as you can. And try to touch your opposite shoulder blade with your hand. Alright, you see what I've got here? Try to touch your opposite shoulder blade. Now, sometimes you can't even get to this position. That's okay, just do the best you can. Third stretch I want to talk to you about is another neck stretch, but what you do is you just anchor your shoulder with your hand and stretch away from it. This actually gets a different muscle. You can probably see these muscles standing out right here. These muscles are critical on neck pain. Okay, so we've been talking about ways to prevent just the repetitive nagging type of injuries that tend to plague people. Now, just in thinking, two of the occupations that I have that seem to have the worst problem with chronic neck and lower back pain are truck drivers and accountants. Now, those two occupations have nothing in common other than the amount of time you have to spend sitting, focused on your work, get up and do short bursts of activity, and then sit again. So I want to talk to you about things you can do in the cab of your truck while sitting, while at rest, not going down the road. What you can do just to try to prevent some of those things. And we've talked about a few stretches. There's nothing wrong with just moving while you're at rest. Your body was made to move. Your body improves as it moves. Nothing wrong with just sitting here when you're at a stoplight, moving your neck from side to side. That helps tremendously. A great thing to do is elongate your spine. Reach up, clasp your hands together, elongate your spine, try to stick your chest out. When you do that, keep your chin down. It tends to stretch all the way up to the top of your head. Those are great stretches that I show all of my chronic neck pain patients. There's a lot of other things you can do just with your fingers, manipulate items with your fingers. Again, go through the stretches. Do all of those things a little bit at a time.